All right, get those headphones ready because we're about to dive deep.
Into the Maltese Islands.
You got it. Today, we're exploring the Maltese Islands with Malta Info Guide.
It's an amazing resource.
Yeah, it's packed with all the insider tips and local knowledge you'll need to plan your trip.
Yeah, and what's really cool about Malta Info Guide is it goes way beyond those typical touristy things,
Right, like those generic brochures.
Exactly. It really digs into what makes Malta unique, that blend of ancient history and modern, vibrant culture.
And I have a feeling our listeners are going to love that.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, considering your interests.
Absolutely.
They even call Malta an open-air museum, which honestly sounds incredible.
Oh, it is.
They talk about Valletta as a World Heritage Site, and then Medina, the old capital. Can you imagine just wandering through those streets, feeling all that history beneath your feet?
It's amazing. It really is.
It's like stepping back in time.
And speaking of stepping back in time, did you know that Malta actually has these Neolithic temples that are older than the pyramids of Egypt?
Older than the pyramids? Seriously?
Yeah, it's true. It's mind-blowing.
Wow, so we're talking like way, way back.
Way back, yeah.
I mean, what did they even use those temples for back then? Were they some kind of like central hub?
Well, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, these temples, like Hagar Kim, for example, they have these massive stones and curved chambers.
I've seen pictures. They're incredible.
And they suggest a level of sophistication that was just like unheard of for that time period.
Right, right.
Like, how did they even do that back then?
Yeah. It's crazy.
And what's even more amazing is how well preserved they are.
So we're not just talking about like piles of rubble.
No, no.
These are actual structures you can walk through.
You can walk through them, you can explore them. It's like a direct link to those ancient builders.
That's incredible. So it really brings your fascination with archaeology to life.
Oh, absolutely.
Imagine just standing within those ancient walls.
It's awe-inspiring.
It's no wonder Malta is considered like a UNESCO World Heritage treasure trove.
Oh, absolutely. It's a must-see for anyone interested in history.
So we've talked about the temples, we've touched on Valletta a bit, but let's go back to that for a second.
Yeah.
What makes Valletta so special? You mentioned it's a World Heritage Site.
Oh, it's incredible. Picture this. Honey-colored buildings, bathed in that warm Mediterranean light.
Oh, I love that.
Intricate balconies jutting out over these narrow, winding streets. And then the harbor.
Oh, the harbor.
Bustling with colorful boats. It's just magical.
It sounds so picturesque.
Valletta is like a Baroque masterpiece.
Okay, I'm picturing it. Keep going.
It was built by the Knights of St. John back in the 16th century.
Wow.
And every corner you turn, you just feel this sense of history.
It's like every building has a story to tell.
Exactly.
Okay, Valletta is officially added to my travel bucket list.
You won't regret it.
But let's switch gears for a second because Malta Info Guide also mentions these vibrant village feasts.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm really curious about those because they sound amazing.
They're incredible.
What's the story there?
Okay, so imagine this. An entire village comes alive.
Okay, the whole village.
The whole village.
Wow.
Colorful processions, marching bands, fireworks lighting up the night sky.
Fireworks, really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And of course, food. Glorious food.
Oh, there's gotta be food.
It's a feast for all the senses, literally.
Now, when you say every village, you mean like every single village in Malta has its own feast?
Pretty much, yeah. Each village celebrates its patron saint.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's like a religious thing as well.
Yeah, it's deeply rooted in their culture and tradition.
That's really cool.
And they say you haven't truly experienced Malta until you've witnessed one of these celebrations.
Wow. All right. So mark my words. If I ever make it to Malta, I'm experiencing one of those feasts.
You absolutely should. It's a chance to really see the heart and soul of Malta.
To see the local culture firsthand.
Exactly. And I know you love that authentic travel experience.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about,
Yeah.
It's one thing to see the historical sites, but it's another to actually immerse yourself in the living culture of a place.
For sure.
So we'll definitely have to circle back to these feasts later. I need to hear more.
Oh, we will. We will.
But for now, let's talk about another thing that really caught my eye in the guide.
What's that?
The food.
Ah, yes.
Maltese cuisine.
Delicious.
It sounds amazing.
It is.
They mentioned seafood, obviously being an island and all.
Makes sense, right? Fresh seafood.
Right. But then they mentioned rabbit, and that's not something you see on every menu.
Yeah, rabbit is actually considered a national dish in Malta.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah, they prepare it in all sorts of ways. Stewed, fried.
How do you say?
And then there's this bread, Hobbs Bizet, have you heard of that?
I haven't. Tell me more.
It's this delicious local bread. They rub it with olive oil, top it with tomatoes,
See,
capers.
now you're making me hungry.
It's so good.
It all sounds so fresh and flavorful.
It is. The food is fantastic.
So we've got history, we've got culture, we've got the food. What about those beaches everyone raves about?
Ah, the beaches.
What can you tell me?
Malta has a beach for every mood.
Okay, I like that. So give me some examples.
Okay, so you've got the iconic Blue Lagoon.
I've seen pictures. That water is unbelievable.
Oh, it's incredible. Those turquoise waters, it's like something out of a dream.
Crystal clear.
Crystal clear. And then you have Melliha Bay with those sprawling sands.
Okay, so you've got your options.
Plenty of options.
I can picture myself now swimming in those crystal clear waters, sun on my skin.
It's paradise.
It sounds idyllic.
It is. And, you know, for the more adventurous types, there's diving, snorkeling.
Oh, nice.
The waters around Malta are teeming with marine life, and there are these incredible underwater caves you can explore.
Okay, you've sold me.
It's a diver's paradise.
Now, for someone who's actually picturing themselves going,
Yeah.
how easy is it to get around these islands?
Well, Malta Info guide says the islands are super compact.
So it's not like I'm going to need to rent a car or anything.
No, not necessarily. They say public transport is really cheap and efficient. And it'll get you to all the main spots.
Even those more like off the beaten path places.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know what's interesting?
What's that?
They drive on the left side of the road in Malta,
Oh, really?
just like back home. So you'd be all set.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Because I've heard those winding roads can be a little,
Yeah, I can imagine.
bit daunting. So
Especially if you're not used to it.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to go back to the historical sites for a second.
Yeah.
I'm picturing myself arriving at like one of these incredible temples. What's the vibe like? Do I need to be some kind of like archaeology expert
No, not at all.
to appreciate it?
Malta Info Guide really emphasizes that these sites are for everyone.
Oh, that's cool.
They're designed to be accessible,
That's good. I like that.
engaging, there's clear information, often interactive exhibits,
Oh, that's fun.
and, you know, even cafes nearby.
Okay, now we're talking. That's my kind of history lesson.
Yeah, right?
Outdoors, fascinating, good coffee. Can't beat that.
Exactly. And speaking of fascinating,
Yes.
we haven't even touched on the Hypogeum yet.
Oh, the Hypogeum, yeah.
This is not just another temple. This is a whole underground complex,
It's
right?
something else.
Carved into the rock.
Yeah.
I remember reading about that. They said it's older than Stonehenge.
It's ancient.
But what does that even look like? Was it like a secret society meeting place? What was going on down there?
Okay, so imagine this. You're descending into the earth.
Okay.
The air is cool, quiet.
Okay.
You enter this network of chambers, halls, passages,
Wow.
all illuminated by this like soft, diffused light.
Okay, I'm getting spooky now.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
It's believed to have been a temple and a burial ground.
Oh, interesting. Both.
Yeah. And the walls are adorned with these intricate carvings.
It's hard to wrap my head around them creating something so intricate so long ago with, you know, I imagine rudimentary tools.
It's amazing. The craftsmanship is astounding.
Really makes you think. And here's the kicker. The Hypogeum wasn't rediscovered until the early 20th century.
Really?
It was hidden beneath the schoolhouse.
What?
Imagine that. Those workers, they just stumbled upon this ancient marvel.
That's incredible. So they were like just going about their day and boom, ancient temple.
Exactly. Talk about a discovery.
It's like something out of a movie.
It really is.
It makes you wonder what else is still out there waiting to be found.
Who knows what lies beneath the surface?
Exactly. And Malta Info Guide mentions other UNESCO World Heritage sites too.
They do.
Like the fortified city of Medina
Medina, yeah.
with its maze-like streets and those stunning views, I imagine.
Oh, the views are breathtaking.
So we talked about Valletta earlier, but Medina sounds like it has a completely different vibe.
Yeah, it's very different.
What's the feeling there?
Medina is known as the Silent City
Oh, why is that?
because it's car-free, no cars allowed.
Oh, wow.
So it's very peaceful, quiet.
Okay, so you can actually hear yourself think.
You can, yeah. It's very tranquil.
I love that.
And it takes you back to medieval times with those narrow streets, imposing bastions.
Oh, I bet the architecture is incredible.
It's stunning. And imagine getting lost in those alleyways, stumbling upon hidden courtyards, quaint little cafes.
Okay, I need to go there like yesterday.
It's magical.
All right, so I'm picturing myself, strolling through these ancient streets, soaking up the atmosphere.
Yeah.
What's the dress code? What should I pack?
Well, comfortable shoes are a must.
Okay, good to know.
You'll be doing a lot of walking.
Yeah, for sure.
But the dress code is generally Pretty relaxed, I mean.
Okay, good.
They just recommend modest attire when you're visiting religious sites, out of respect.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course, makes sense. And speaking of practicalities,
Yeah.
what about language?
Oh, you'll be fine.
Well, I need to brush up on my
Oh,
Maltese.
not at all. English is widely spoken.
Oh, perfect.
They were a British colony for many years, so...
Right, right. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, so you'll have no trouble communicating at all.
That's a relief.
Yep.
Now about those feasts.
Yes, the feasts.
I am dying to know more about what makes them so unique.
There's something else.
What kind of food can I expect?
Oh, so much good food.
Are there specific dances? Are there traditions that they follow?
Oh, yeah, it's like a full sensory experience.
Okay, paint me the picture.
All right, so each village feast is this riot of colors,
I love that.
music, aromas. You've got these elaborate processions featuring statues of saints.
Statues of saints, really?
Yeah, they parade them through the streets,
Yeah.
and accompanying the statues, you've got marching bands.
Oh, wow. Old parade.
It's a whole thing. And fireworks.
Fireworks.
Oh, yeah, lots of fireworks.
What?
Oh, yeah. And it's not just the nighttime fireworks, you know?
There's more.
They actually have fireworks during the day, too.
What? During the day?
Yeah, they call them daylight fireworks.
I've never heard of that.
They're amazing. Imagine this explosion of color and sound against the bright blue sky.
Oh, wow. That's got to be a sight to see.
It's incredible.
Okay, so we've got the processions, the fireworks, the food. What about the actual, events?
Okay.
I mean, Malta Info Guide mentioned these feasts last for days.
Yeah, they're not just a one-day thing.
So what all goes on?
It's like the whole village turns into one big celebration.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's amazing. There's music, there's dancing, food stalls lining the streets.
Oh, I bet the atmosphere is incredible.
Electric, and it's a great chance to mingle with the locals, really experience the culture.
Yeah, that's what I'm all about, so those feasts are definitely going on my itinerary.
I'm telling you, you will not regret it.
I believe it. Now, we've covered so much ground today, from ancient temples to those bustling village feasts.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has, but is there anything else about Malta that surprised you as you were, diving into the guide? Anything we haven't touched on yet?
It's funny you say that. I think what really struck me were those little details,
Oh, like what?
Like, they mentioned that many locals still speak Maltese.
Oh, right, their own language.
It's this unique language with Semitic roots.
Wow, I had no idea.
It's a reminder that Malta has this incredibly diverse cultural tapestry, shaped by so many different influences.
It's amazing how a place so small can have such a rich and layered history.
Right. It's like a microcosm of the Mediterranean.
I love that. So it's like you're not just visiting one place, you're kind of experiencing centuries of history and culture all rolled into one.
That's it. That's the magic of Malta.
I'm sold. After this deep dive, I can confidently say Malta has officially earned a top spot on my travel list.
As they say in Malta, merkaba, which means welcome.
Oh, I love that.
And I have a feeling after you experience it for yourself, you will be saying grazie, which means thank you for an unforgettable trip.
Perfectly said. So to our listeners out there, if you're looking for an experience that combines history, culture, natural beauty, look no further than the Maltese Islands.
It's a hidden gem.
And before you book that flight, make sure you check out Malta Info Guide.
It's your ultimate guide to Malta.
It'll give you all the insider tips, local knowledge you need to plan an amazing adventure. Until next time, happy travels, everyone.